Happy Friday, Orly Shani here. Welcome back to the DIY Designer. I have a solid fall fashion episode for you. I'm gonna be making two-tone star jeans. What is that, you ask? Well, I kind of can only show you my finished version because this doesn't exist in the world. This was an idea I had in my brain that I wanted to bring to you. It's gonna be really cool. We're gonna be cutting out stars out of kind of like boyfriend jeans, and we're gonna be laying behind it a really deep dark denim, so they're gonna become two-tone jeans. Instead of circle regular holes, they're gonna be little stars. It's gonna look super cute. I can't wait to do it. But before we get started, I have breaking news. It's half sad and half really exciting. The half sad part is that my brother Ben, who you all know and love, is just a effing hotshot, and he's off in the world doing other fabulous things, gallivanting, and doesn't have time to sit here with me anymore.
Guys, I've had a blast making the channel. It's been so much fun. Orly's decided to fire me for now, which is really cool, but no, I'm kidding. I quit. She sucks to work with. Keep watching the channel though. I'll be back to do some more DIY videos soon. Check out my stuff when you can, and for now, bye. I love you.
So we're very excited for him, and we wish him nothing but the best. You guys know him. I'm gonna link his, not only his YouTube channel, but his website and his Instagram below. Please follow him and stay up to, you know, what's the word?
Date.
Up to date. Which brings me to my next point. That voice behind the camera is Matthew. So I have a new videographer, and his name is Matthew.
My name's Matthew.
And he's from Philly.
I'm from Philadelphia.
He's really excited to be working with me.
I am so excited to be working for Orly.
He's really stoked.
This is a dream come true.
So we're excited for him to be here. You guys welcome him. I will include all his info down there below. So make sure that you follow Ben and make sure that you follow Matthew because they're important. And we are going to get started on today's episode. So the first thing I needed to do was I needed to go find stars. Stars that we can use as a little template to cut out of my jeans. So I headed off to Joann's. Ooh, it's sunny. All right, I am going to Joann's because I need to see if I can find maybe like a star stencil to be the right size stars. This is something you could totally print on your computer, but my printer is broken. So I'm thinking if I could find like a stencil that's a couple of bucks, that might be the smartest. So let's see what they have. Okay, I was a little bummed because they don't have the stencil thing that I know of, and they also don't have the stickers, but they do have these. Which I think can totally work because there's 3 different sizes, which is what I need, and I just use them basically as a stencil. So it's perfect. Done. Here they are, the stars. So obviously my printer's broken. If you guys have a good printer, you're gonna wanna print it on cardstock. That way they're nice and thick and you can use it as a stencil, or stickers. If you find those, that will work. A stencil, or these little guys. Anything that you see that has the right size and shape that you want can be used as a stencil. So I'm gonna be using these. I did find a pair of jeans at the thrift store. Now, I was really looking for like a slouchy boyfriend jean. I didn't find exactly what I wanted, but I did find these. I mean, they're fine. They're gonna be cute. And I'm using some deep dark denim so that we can create the star look. So let's do materials, because that's what's next. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is take those little wooden stars and start creating our pattern. Now, the most important thing with the pattern is really just making sure that there's a variety in sizes. You don't wanna, kind of clump up 2 or 3 big ones all at once. You wanna have big, small, medium, and take a step back and take a look and see how balanced it looks. This is the most important part, so really just take your time with this. All right, final one, we're ready to go. Now I'm gonna take my crayon. You can use a crayon or a marker, anything that's gonna either come off in the wash or that you're barely gonna see. And really, you're just using the wooden star as a stencil. Trace around all of the edges. Okay, how cute is she? Now listen, if your crayon starts to get rounded, just sharpen it by running it on the edges just like you would a crayon. a piece of chalk. Okay, so once I finish doing all of these, you can see it actually looks really cool and would be really neat with a paint pen or a bleach pen if you didn't want to cut them, but I am gonna cut mine. So when you start cutting, you always want to start in the very center. A tiny little hole creates an access point into the star. Now I'm gonna create a straight line to each of my 5 points on the star. This does two things. One is it creates a nice, clean, crisp point at the edge of your star, which is very important, but it also is gonna allow us to now kind of go in and cut off the edges. When it meets that initial cut that you did, these little triangles come off in like the most perfect way. It goes a lot faster and it creates a much cleaner, crisper edge. So since we have quite a few of these to do, this is definitely the way that I would recommend doing that. You can see it's really just a step and repeat process and it looks amazing. You might be tempted to leave them as holes, but I'm telling you, these little edges will curl back on you if they are not, like attached to something. So I'm gonna reach my hand into my denim and lay each piece, each little, patch that I've created for my jean, lay it inside. You just wanna make sure that everything lays nice and flat. There's no puckering or like gaps anywhere. Now, the first one I'm gonna do, I wanna show you how to sew it if that's how you decided to do it. So if you are sewing, pin every corner in place so that it won't move on you. Now you're gonna put the entire leg into your sewing machine and go very, very close to the edge because we barely want any fraying when this gets washed. Now, this is the most important part. When you get to a corner, put down your needle, lift up your presser foot, and rotate your jeans. This is how you end up with those really clean, crisp edges because you don't want any rounded corners at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this one, but it is difficult and it is not a lot of fun. So once you see the way this came out, which looks really good and it's nice and close to the edge, now I'm gluing. I'm gluing everything else because that was just too annoying to do and I really recommend gluing the project. One way to glue is like this. You're gonna put the nozzle of your glue gun inside and tap down. But I will say it's a little harder to control and you might end up with little pieces of glue like that coming out. So after I did this first one, I realized what was better is actually pulling back the corner of your jean and applying the glue directly to that piece. You can kind of control how much goes on, and now when you tap it into place, there's a lot less glue that's gonna come out onto your darker denim. Cut as many pieces as you want and just make sure that those pieces are at least an inch bigger than your star all the way around so you have some excess. There you go. You're gonna, clean off the nozzle of your glue if it starts to get goopy because it'll be much harder to control. And this is just because that's a cool shot. It's nothing else other than that, right? Good job, Matthew. Okay, so here we go. There's our big giant patches of denim. You don't need all this excess. So now pull back. Anything that's not glued down, just cut off. It's not needed at all. When you pull back and you feel the resistance, that's where you get to cut. And if you pull back and see there's a hole, make sure to add more glue to glue it down in place. That's really it. This is the end of the DIY.
Oh, it looks so good! Matthew, do you love it?
I am absolutely in love with it.
I'm gonna make you a pair
Okay.
instead of paying you.
That's not what I wanted.
All right, well, I'm gonna go try them on. Let's see how they look. I hope that they're cute. They look amazing. Keep in mind, you guys, that the crayon is gonna come off in the wash. So the very first time you wash it, that crayon will be gone. It will also fray just a tiny, tiny bit. That's why you put the glue right up to the edge. But the fabric glue is machine washable. So these bad boys are machine washable. Okay, I'll be right back.